Yeah, it was a good game. I was a fun game to be involved. I got a lot of respect for Marshall. I like the way their kids play on defense, offense. Obviously, they got some good players. The Cato kid's a great player. Defense, they got a bunch of offense. They got a bunch of good players too. But I like the way they play. I like the way they get after it. I like the way they play with energy, and they talk a little bit and all that. But it's a fun game to be a part of. If you play them, you gotta, as we found out in the first half, you gotta be ready to bring it, or they're gonna be up 23 at half. So. The biggest disappointment for me in the first half, and I'm sure there's defensive disappointments, but we got 3 red zone trips. We got 3 points. That's the game, you know. Not that we should have gave up 28 in the first half, but it should be 28-10, 28-17, maybe 28-21. And we're not red zone. We're down in there inside the 5 with chances to score. I mean, we got 4 plays from the 5. Probably should have taken some points. I really have no feel for this team. I'll probably have a better feel. I mean, hindsight is always 50-50, right, is what they say. So, retrospect, I'm usually pretty conservative, take points whenever I get them. We got to compete, you know. Like, we got to compete, and we got to go for it, and we got to be a little more aggressive than probably is my nature, because we're still trying to create an identity as a football team, which we're still feeling each other out. So. But not scoring. If we score down there, you're at least, hey, you're in the game at halftime, and then you come out in the second half. Obviously, they got an idea what major college football was like. You got to go play. And we knew we could do things, but we weren't doing them, and we weren't playing at the speed the game needed to play and without the intensity of the game you play. Then we come out third quarter and 17 points, and you're in the game, and we got it to where we wanted, 28-20 in the fourth, and we didn't execute in the fourth. So there's lessons to be learned there, and there's no excuse. We got the ball down 28-20. You know, we have a couple bad series, and there's tons. The positive for these guys is every play is a learning experience for these guys. Like, there's so many situations today that this time next year I will be screaming bloody murder at our players, but they just don't know. They just, like, they don't know that, hey, this has to happen, or if not, this is a result. You're punting, you know, or you're giving up a sack. This absolutely, they're finding out what they're capable of, but again, their expectations of themselves is still too low. So. I think Marshall's good. I think they'll win a bunch of games this year. I like the way they play.
Coach, can you just talk about the adjustments you made at halftime to come out with that deficit and then score them from there?
Yeah, no, structurally nothing. Nothing. Schematically nothing. Intensity, focus, running, playing faster, playing harder, putting all your force through their body, not putting half your force through the body. We didn't change anything. There was things there in the first half, you know, but it was intensity and how. You know, I told the kids this morning, and I'm so proud of so many things with these kids. But our Achilles heels, we're like the nicest group of young men I've ever been around. And that's an Achilles heel. And I would never change it, but I've been around nice young men that on Saturday they flip a switch. And I'm not saying dirty or outside the framework of our defense or illegal. I'm saying play the game at intensity level that will shock you. Like, holy cow, look at that guy. And that's what we're missing. Whether it's passion, intensity, whether it's just know-how, I don't know what it is, but that was the adjustment at halftime. Like, it's right there for you guys if you want to go play, but it's hard. It's not easy. Winning football games is damn hard. You know, they came out and they had a little chip on their shoulder and we played. If we come out that way in the first half, maybe it's a different game, you know.
It seemed like early he was able to make a lot of big connections underneath coverage or over the middle, and then the split few drives.
Yeah, a lot of, not really, just a lot of tentative standing around, in our zone, but no sense of urgency. Now, I mean, you know, we probably were a little aggressive with our calls in the second half, but we still mixed in zone and man because you got to against those guys. So it just, they don't understand in this game. You play good people. Like, you're out of position. Cato's going to make you pay every time. He was 14 for 18 at halftime. It was like routes on arrows, like practice, you know. They're just going, it was like, no, it's not good enough, you know, and that's, you know, they're excited about losing by 25. That scares the hell out of me, you know. Our guys are excited. Yeah, that's just mind-boggling to me, you know. They'd be excited, lost by 25 at home. Our fans are excited. It's even more. We're getting cheered coming off the field. Like, I've been throwing things. That's a game. We couldn't beat that team today. We're not ready to beat that team. That's a team we can play with and beat, obviously. Everybody watch the game. We ran by their guys. They ran by us, right? We can run by their guys. How many times we run by them? We can tackle their guys. We cannot tackle their guys, too, right? We saw both sides of it. They can tackle us. They miss tackles on us, too. I mean, but it's every down intensity of what it takes to be a champion.
Are there some things in the red zone to be adjustments maybe looking at, or
Yeah, just again, we can't, we try to run a little bit. We obviously couldn't knock them off the ball when it counts. They're going to buckle down. There's going to be more people in the box. They're going to be lower and harder, and we got to match it, and we got to move people, which the adjustment is, hey, if you think there's not going to be more hats down in there, then you can block inside the 5. Like JFL, the NFL, everybody's in there. If you're going to run it, you got to move people. So we couldn't move people. So now you got to go one-on-one. Well, they were just playing man and loading the box. So they were more physical than we were on the perimeter. We couldn't even get in our routes. We were trying to run different routes. We were just at the line of scrimmage. So we said the halftime adjust was like, explain to me, you guys understand football, what would you like me to adjust? We try to run it into a lot of unblocked hats, and they're in our backfield, so that's not a good answer. So we're one-on-one outside. You got to win one-on-one matchups, and we're getting – it's one thing not to win the one. It's one thing not even to compete and be at the line of scrimmage. You watch the tape the first half. You won't be able to tell what routes we were running down there. We couldn't get through the goal line, Now they hold and all that, I got you, but we told them all week, they hold every down. That's how they play man. They hold every down, and no one ever calls it. All right? So they hold us, and we're too soft to run through them. So that's the adjustment. Second half was we got to run through some friction and make some plays. So.
Have you ever seen the team make that much of an adjustment mentally from the first half to the second half of your guys?
I don't know. Probably. We weren't that far away in the first half. We score a couple points. It looks bad 28-3. If we score some points, if it's 2017, you're not that shocked we came on in the second half and did some things. But we screwed up in the red zone, and, So, no, I don't know. I mean, they're capable. I know what they're capable of more than what they believe they're capable of, So hopefully at some point they got to see it, and it's every day. It's tonight. It's tomorrow. It's Monday. We're not going to flip a switch next Saturday and become 1-17. It's every day we got to compete. We're behind everybody. And until they decide that that's what they want to do, we'll keep losing games. When they decide that's what they want to do, we'll probably win one. Yeah, one bad play. I want the one play back, a third down. We don't do that on 3rd and 20. We probably, I don't know, it was 3rd and a bunch, but we don't throw one across our body and get it picked. That's a game-changing play. We got to stop and got the ball back, so we scored right after. I'm happy how he bounced back because the next drive we drove down there. But, he first started, he had 20 stinking carries. He threw it 49 times, and he competed his tail off, which he always does, but he was getting better as game. That's his first. Like, there's things he's gonna make some better. There were some throws today he didn't make that he's gonna make better throws. He even did in the game. He missed a post early, hit the post later. You know what I mean? He misread some stuff, in a couple key situations. Next time, the fourth quarter, when we were down 8, he's got to make those plays. And he knows, and I don't want to put the weight of the world on, but he knows he can't have 2 or 3 mistakes like everybody else, because he's our guy. So I'm proud. I'm sure he's disappointed because we're at 28-20 and he didn't play his best football at that point. But I'm so happy he had this opportunity. Like, he's put in a lot of time to have a day where he just got hit and got sacked and made some completions and threw a pick. I mean, all of it to me is awesome for that kid to get in this arena because he loves to compete and play, and that's what he came here for. So it's pretty awesome for him. But he's got a chance to get way better, and he obviously can make a bunch of plays for us under duress. I mean, a lot of his incompletions are just trying to get out of the pocket so I can throw out of bounds. He's scrambling to get out of the pocket so it's not a illegal grounding. He's running and throwing, and so it was a good time. So.
You guys opened against Marshall last year, a very different story. I know that you weren't the coach then, but do you walk away from the team feeling you've closed a bit of a gap, knowing this team, stats-wise, time of possession, all that kind of stuff, did better, did well today?
Yeah, I know we're way better. We and everybody's going to kiss up to the president, the AD, and everybody, but we've closed the gap programmatically beyond, and I'm not telling them anything they don't know. Structurally, within our program, and I'm not the one, I may go 5 years not kiss up to nobody. That's not my nature. But programmatically, we've closed the gap on everybody in the country. Our kids, structurally, there's so many things that we could do that and again, maybe it was with me getting here and having some ideas, hey, let's do this or let's do that, but collectively, so we've closed that gap. Now the compete level, we're still a ways away. And the every down compete, we'll compete on downs hard. You saw that today. You saw a lot of kids. We can put a highlight together and make us look like a darn good football team. There was 180 plays today. There's a lot of good plays on both sides of the ball, especially, but there's more bad plays against us. That's why it's the deficit. So that compete level, and then the commitment to football, it's hard. You're a student athlete. You want to have a good time. You want to have a girlfriend. You want to go out. You want to sleep. You want to play PlayStation. You want to do all these things. Hey, at some point, you got to continue to spend more percentage of your time. We want to have fun. We want to study. We got all that, but we got to spend more percentage of our leisure time on football. So they're doing it, but yeah, we've closed the gap a lot, but obviously we got a lot more to close. Yeah, it was great. He played a lot. He hasn't practiced at all. So, I mean, he literally has not practiced. It's absolutely amazing. His compete level, especially, you know, for Miami, for his teammates, I mean, we don't talk injuries, upper body, lower body, middle body injury. He's got them all, you know. So it was upper, it was lower, it's middle. He's a beat up racehorse, but he's getting healthier every day, and hopefully comes out of it's no worse for the wear. But it was, again, I'm excited about he's out there and he loves being here and he wants to help himself be successful, but he wants to help Miami find a way to win some games. So that was awesome for him. And Low played his tail off amongst a bunch of guys in the back end. They were on stress the whole game as much as they spread those puppies out back there. They're on islands and fighting and scratching. Q almost had the last one. They gave us a chance. Q pick, who knows, maybe he doesn't return all the way, but I hit the guy that was tackling him was going down. He's going to return it for a ways, and we still got a chance at that point within one score. So.
You mentioned you're still getting to know the team in a certain respect in the Islands, and that the offensive line been kind of a question mark coming in. Anything you saw out there that
There was better compete level. There was better. We try to help them as much as we can. We got a long ways to go there, we know, but I like the way they fought. We lost our starting right tackle, dehydrated, cramping. Who did we put in there first? We put in Hovey first. We put in Trevin Brown moved over there. We had a lot of O-linemen play in the second half, and we were just like, heck, we're close enough. We want him. If that would have been the first quarter, we'd have protected him a bunch. We're like, we can't protect him within one score. We got to try to win this puppy. So a lot of kids, but again, just we got to keep getting more physical up there, and we got to bite down on our mouthpiece harder at times up there. That's the key, because they can do it, but their compete level at times is there, and at times it's not what's going to protect our quarterback or open holes. But we open some run holes and we protect them, and it wasn't bad. It gave us a chance. I mean, we had a bunch of yards.
What was going on with those back-to-back unsportsmanlike penalties?
Yeah, I don't talk about officials. Nice try, though. Nice to bait me there. I'm already going to get in enough trouble without answering that question. So. I didn't even know they called him on me.
I assumed they did. I thought they did.
I didn't know. I don't know. You'd have to investigate that.
Spencer McGinnis played today. He's not even on the roster. What was the deal?
Bad sports information. Freaking, man, always on the roster. We're trying to coach a game. We got the sideline guy asking me who's 20. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna do your homework. Like, plus he was on the team. He was 20 last year. Like, you should be able to recognize him. Like, I don't know what they're sleeping on the switch over there. The sideline reporters. I was like, how to yell at him too today. I'm like, so.
The freshman tailbacks, Moses Smith Young, didn't play. Are they going to get playing time later on?
Yeah, we'd like them to. It got going pretty quick, out of hand. They were scripted in plays, but it got going pretty quick, and you could see the first three series offensively were embarrassing. We couldn't get the right personnel on the field. We script all their plays. We ran them yesterday in practice, like every one of these, with the same personnel, and then we walked through them all the day. But we knew, there are a lot of kids who are like freshmen, not just our freshmen. So, and that's on us as coaches. We knew, we talked about all week, we're not going to be able to get it. We're going to be, so we kind of calmed it down and kind of went to a shorter menu, because a lot of the young kids were, Sam Martin, I don't know what he looked like Belushi on the steps of the library in Animal House. He kept like, what is he doing? He's running back and forth aimlessly, and is he in, is he out? We got 12, we got 11, we got 10. Like, what is it? So we try to at least, before it got too ugly, get some older guys out there that have played and calm it down a little bit. So, but we got to get them out there. We got to get them playing. Yes.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Questions for Kent?
Kent, can you talk about down 28-3 at halftime? What was different for you guys coming out in the second half?
We just trusted in the game plan, trusted in each other, knew that we could come out and play better than we did in the first half. We shot ourselves in the foot on defense a couple times, and that's really what put us in the hole. You know, I just go out there and play hard, play whatever's called, and it was a tough game. Marshall played hard, we played hard, and I think our defense is gonna be ready to go for next week.
You come out with a better taste in your mouth than you did maybe from any game last year?
Losing's never a good feeling, but there's obviously a lot more hope coming out of this game than there was out of a lot of games last year. We know what we're capable of, and we're gonna be ready to go next week. We're not gonna come out slow like that in the first half.
You think you collectively get a bit more pressure on them in the second half? Any particular things that you did differently or led to that?
We made some adjustments at halftime that we had practiced all week, and we just executed more in the second half. Really, is all it was.
You told me in practice Wednesday that you thought Hendricks did it better than Taylor. Based on the stats, kind of corrected.
Hey, I got a lot of faith in our quarterback, I tell you that. So he played a great game, and it's nice having him here.
Anything else for Ken?
Thank you.
Questions for Andrew?
You look like you've been waiting to do that a long time.
Yeah, no, it was 4 years overdue for me. It was really exciting to get out there. Obviously, I did not come here to lose games in any fashion, and this one's going to sting because it's one that we look back and we had a lot of mistakes, and we felt like we could have taken this game, and that's going to push us this upcoming week in preparation for next week's game.
Did you get any more comfortable as you went along? I mean, collectively it looked like it did. I don't know about you personally.
Sure. I mean, everyone has jitters. This was my first start since high school, and I felt like I was prepared. But sure, I mean that goes without saying. Really, everyone, from the O line to the receivers to the tight end, as the game went on, they were more comfortable, and I think that showed in the second half definitely.
Any particular plays or anything as the confidence boosted for you?
Not really. I'd say coming into the second half, we could feel the energy. This wasn't a team that was down. This wasn't a team that was out. We were excited to get back on the field, and that was a boost of confidence, not only for the offense but for the defense as well. That we were still in it. We were still going to fight, and again, we showed that that's the team we can be and we will be in the second half of the season.
It looked like the coverage was held everything against the run, and the coverage was really tight down in the red zone.
Sure. That's, I think, an area that we really need to work on this week. I'm not sure how many trips to the red zone we have, but we have to do better down there. If we do better there in the first half, it's a totally different ball game. I think we did do better in the second half there, but that's definitely a point of emphasis for us moving forward.
When you halfback essentially, you're not afraid of contact at all.
No.
You put those shoulders down initially.
Sure. No, I was always a head-first slider in baseball anyway, so I really don't even know how to slide at this point. But no, I like the contact moving forward. I'm probably going to have to start avoiding that because I'm pretty banged up today. But no, it's exciting, and then the defense likes it too. They don't want a quarterback that slides. They want a quarterback that they can bump with. So it was really great getting out there again.
I guess you felt coming in that you had some good targets that just kind of reaffirm all that.
Yeah, no, we love how our offense performed, particularly in the second half. We'd have a lot of weapons. Rokeem on the post, he can fly. Daewon, Frazier, obviously, and it's great to have Alex Welch back there as well. Our weapons are endless, and we're going to continue to develop them and figure out better ways to use them moving forward, particularly in the red zone.
I'm not screwing this up. Your first touchdown pass here at Miami was to your former Notre Dame teammate, Alex. Is that correct?
Yes.
And that was his first ever.
Yes.
touchdown.
First ever collegiate touchdown for
Yeah.
him as
What
well.
was that? Can you talk about that sequence and maybe what it meant to you?
It was great, honestly. That's something that we talked about 4 years ago coming out of high school, and I would throw with him on an Elders campus, at the pit. So to have that finally happen for us, the confidence. I see a guy one-on-one with him, and I know it's over before it starts, and that's the kind of thing that we, again, have talked about for 4 years, and it was great for that to finally happen. I know it. After high school, when you're on the same team, it's kind of a far drive, so we'd switch back and forth, but.
All right, Andrew, thanks.
All right, no problem. Thank you.